The Allegheny Journal welcomes today Justin Reiter. He's the executive director of the Historic Masonic Theatre. And we caught him, he's an extremely busy guy. And I said, all right, Justin, this is the week to tell everybody about what's coming up at the Masonic Theatre. Are you one of the authors or the creators of this concept of the free movie situation at the theater? At any rate, when it started, maybe there was a little bit of interest, but now I think it's a big deal, isn't it?
The movies have turned into a really big deal on Sundays. We've got families that come every Sunday. We have free hot dogs, sodas, and popcorn. And the whole thing is sponsored by the town of Clifton Forge. So it's a give back to the community, and it's really worked out very well.
I can't imagine any other theater in Virginia or even West Virginia where you can bring the kids, get free drinks and popcorn. Is this unique among theaters that you're aware of?
I think some theaters have free movies, but we've really made it a focal point for our community that we have a place for families and kids to come on Sunday afternoon and enjoy, really great movies.
And with respect to some future bookings, I'm sure that the region-wide audience would like to know, is Crosby, Stills and Nash coming? Or are we going to have some shows that we're used to? Or are there going to be some new acts? Give us just a brief idea of what may be coming up at the end of the spring and maybe perhaps into the summer.
Yes, we've got a couple of shows coming up. One is the ABBA which was canceled due to COVID. It's back. There's a lot of tickets that have been sold for that. That is the 1st of May. And coming up in June, we've got a wonderful program called Balloonacy. It's a one-man show, and it's 45 minutes long, and we're doing it with the Community Services Board. Ingrid and I are teaming up to do this really great show that's called Sensory-Friendly Performance. So it's great for people and kids on the autistic spectrum, there's no loud noises, there's no flashing lights, that kind of thing. But it is a very family-friendly show, and it should be a great time.
Justin, I must admit, I'm a resident of Clifton Forge. I go to all kinds of live performances, and Jerry is guilty of not going to that many Masonic Amphitheatre performances. And then a friend of mine who happened to be doing the sound one day, after I had about a 15-hour day, I was relaxing. He said, hey, Jerry, you've got to come down here right now. And I said, no, I don't. No, I've had it today. He says, believe me, I know what you do. And if you come down here, you will not be disappointed. I said, all right. And I went down. It was one of the greatest shows I've heard. It was called Run and Shine. And my point is that you may hear a name of an act that you're not that familiar with. And some of the acts at the Historic Masonic Theatre, they're not new acts, but they may not be national names. Well, this particular group was one that I'd never heard of. I thought it was kind of a weird name. And yet, she put on, and her band put on an awesome performance, and the guitarist, everything was really cool. What do you think's the best way to increase the attendance at the Masonic Theater acts, the Masonic Amphitheatre acts, when the performers may not be nationally known, but still deserve a great audience because they are, in fact, good. Very good.
Well, Jerry, part of what we try to do is bring people who are starting their career or getting their career in midstream to get them a little bit more publicity and notoriety. So we're bringing in some acts that are probably lesser known, but they're amazing talent. For instance, last year we brought in Callista Garcia. Callista Garcia just won 2 awards in the Washington, D.C. music arena. She's coming back, and I've got extremely good news for you, Jerry, that Run and Shine is coming back. So the Summer Music Series we'll be announcing here in the next few days, but just for your viewers, I'll let you know that Callista and Run and Shine are coming back.
Justin, I'm guilty of not making the Callista performance. Run and Shine, that is great news. That's the one aspect of this show. one of the performers went throughout the audience singing one of the tunes, and it was like she was performing it, you know, in the Lincoln Center.
Yeah, Janice Chandler, who is the lead singer for Run and Shine, it is her band. She's pretty amazing performer and has a great time, and was very excited to hear that we wanted her back this summer.
So in terms of the future of the theater, Justin, is there anything that the public needs to know? Are there big plans on this or that? Or are you pretty much running a solid operation right now and we can expect quality acts as we always have before?
Well, running a theater is much like going into Las Vegas and pulling a slot machine. You are putting a name out there and putting publicity out there and hoping people will come. The Masonic Theatre is a 4-story beast of a building that costs a lot of money every single day to run. Our utility bills are in the thousands of dollars. So we rely on theater ticket sales. We also rely on fundraising, and we also rely on grant applications. It is, theater is as a unique business, and in these times, getting people to come back out to the theater has been challenging. So we're trying to bring titles in that everybody wants to see. And as I've told all of our audiences, you're welcome to call the theater and ask for me. Tell me if there's something you'd like to see or something you didn't like. I'm happy to chat with you about what we might be able to do to ensure that this amazing, beautiful building and theater continues for a long, long time.
You know, Justin, one of the things I've noticed at the various performances is you seem to have a great crew of volunteers. Great sound crew and other staffers, admittedly. But we see a slew of volunteers, even if it's in the underground. And then secondly, many people may not realize that the underground, there are refreshments down there. There's much more than what you would expect from this really cool venue with beams and an atmosphere all its own.
Well, one of the things we thought would be interesting is to turn the underground into more of a gathering place on the weekends. We've got limited after hours place to go and hang out, watch a game on the television. We've now got 3 large screens down there. You can get yourself some refreshments. We welcome you if you want to order food from outside and come in and hang out. We're working on getting ready to turn it into a comedy zone, as well as a place for, you know, duos and single acts that got a little live music on Saturday nights in downtown Clifton Forge.
Okay, and one more thing before you go. I'm out there meeting all kinds of singers and performers, and oddly enough, 2 of them have said, hey, how do we get a booking at the Masonic Amphitheatre? I said, well, I know the executive director. I guess there's a phone number that you can call the theater at any time. But Justin, what is the best way for one of these budding performers to get in touch with the boss?
Well, certainly if you are a musician or you'd like to perform, you can call me at the theater. I do an extensive amount of research on acts. We're looking at their fee, what we would have to charge for a ticket price, and also looking at the quality of that musician or act. So there's a lot that goes into researching what we're actually going to do on stage. But if you're a performer and you want to perform, just give me a call. Let me know if you've got a YouTube site. I'm happy to look at some of your footage, and we can discuss having a show.
We lucked out. We caught him. One of the busiest guys in the Allegheny Highlands. We thank you very much for sharing a few moments with us, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Well, thanks, Jerry, and thanks for everything that Allegheny Journal does for the theater and for our community. It is the one news source that I think most of us go to.